One of the things I talk about is nobody knows when they're going to become a single parent. It could come from divorce, but it can also come from death. And death is a big issue. And it doesn't matter what the age that the person passes away at. The reality is, sort of the issues are going to be the same, even if you have significant resources. So, who am I? Sonia Gallion Komanikan. I'm the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent. And we talk a lot about single parents. And today we're going to talk about 10 things you should do when your spouse dies. These are just 10 basic things. There are more things you can do, but these are just kind of the basics things to think about how to prepare while trying to navigate a new lifestyle for yourself and your family. So hold on, grab a cup of coffee, get a tea, get your muffin. Let's sit together and let's have a discussion about 10 things you should do if your spouse should die. Number one is probably the most basic, and that is obtain a copy of the death certificate. You either get that from the hospital, from the county, from the coroner's office, but you definitely want to receive a copy of the death certificate because that will prove that your spouse has passed away for the insurance companies and for whoever else you would need that information for. So number one, obtain the death certificate. I know it's tough to be going through this transition, but these are just steps you have to take. Even if it takes you about a week to get it done, just make sure you get that. And that prevents a lot of other things we're going to be talking about throughout this video. So number two, you want to secure the estate and the property. You want to protect it essentially from anyone who might want to use your spouse's information, social security number, or anything for their own gain. So one of the main reasons getting the death certificate, and then two, securing the estate and the property. And you could do that probably with a lawyer, but that is a priority that you don't want to wait too long on because there's just some unscrupulous people out there. Okay, number three, contact an estate attorney and executor and help organize the estate. Hopefully this stuff was already done prior to the person passing away, your spouse passing away, but if not, contact an estate attorney, get things in order, get things ready. Obviously sit down with your family, work this out. Number one, obtain the death certificate. Two, secure the estate and property. And three, contact an estate attorney or executor. Number four, you want to notify the employers and the benefit providers for your spouse. Depending on what age the person is, it's very important that you stop certain payments from coming in and coming out of the check, and that they know, so that they can, put things in the right file and begin providing maybe survivor benefits or whatever. But definitely want to notify employers and benefit providers so that you also have your resources and your income and things are in order. Hopefully this was planned out way before the person passed away. Number five, you want to update any legal documents, anything that has your spouse on it, whether it's a mortgage or whatever, any legal documents. You want to now remove your deceased spouse name and information from those legal documents because there's really nothing they can do at that point. They're no longer with us. So update your legal documents. That is extremely important. Number six, if you haven't done so already, you need to establish your own health insurance. And these are reasons why sometimes it's better to have separate things going on. Maybe your spouse has a bank account, your spouse has certain things, you have certain things, you have your insurance, they have theirs, because it can get really hairy and really complicated if you're ever forced to go through probate and resolve some of these issues. This could take months and sometimes even years. So it's always a good idea to kind of have a community things, whether it's community insurance, community accounts, but then have some separate things in the event somebody passes away or there's some emergency or challenge, unforeseen challenge that you need to address. Number seven, notify the credit reporting agencies because you don't want people using your spouse's information. It definitely is done. People love to use things of people who've already passed away, they're deceased. It's not going to have as many red flags. So you want to definitely notify the credit reporting agencies in the event somebody begins using your spouse's information, their cards, or whatever. Number eight, cancel or transfer all memberships. And I know this is challenging. I know, especially if you've done a lot of things together. Maybe you read magazines together. Maybe you had gym membership together, whatever. But you want to cancel those things that are in joint name and begin putting things in your name. And this is a process. Some things are going to take longer than others. It's going to be an adjustment emotionally, mentally, physically. to suddenly begin living life on your own without your spouse whom you've been with for, doesn't matter how many years. So give yourself time, sit down with some people who can help you. Ideally, for those of you who are not in the situation, please prepare in advance, because the last thing you want to do after a spouse passes away is to begin figuring out how I'm going to manage the estate, meeting with attorney, notifying all these people, and just you might get overwhelmed. So you want to be extremely organized in advance, have an advance directive, maybe a living will. You want to have all these things planned out so everyone is on the same page. Your children are on the same page, your spouse. You can talk about it all the time. I know for one of the companies I'm affiliated with, he meets with his team, he says daily, and they have a what if meeting on a regular basis. What if I pass away? What if I'm sick? Who's going to manage this? Who's going to manage that? Extremely important, because you need things to continue on. And especially if you're an employer and people are depending on you for their resources and their income, you want to have this stuff planned out way in advance. Okay? Number 9. Secure immediate financial resources. So make sure you have enough money and resources to provide for yourself. And in this situation, it doesn't matter how much you have. You don't ever want your money getting tied up by the bank as they try to resolve this in probate court. So you want to make sure you have accounts together, accounts individually, and somehow you have access to the other accounts. You need to be able to tell them, this account is closed, this one he's no longer with us, or she's no longer with us. You want to be able to have access, be an authorized user on these accounts, so this does not happen and you don't have your assets tied up, and then you can't access them. So number 9 is secure immediate financial resources. Make sure you have what you need. And ideally, in a loving relationship, this stuff is already planned out already. And number 10, review and adjust your retirement plans. Because whatever plans you originally had together, maybe you had a date in mind, an age in mind, that has now changed. So you need to adjust that, review the plans, see if this is still what you need. Maybe you need an additional something else. It could be an annuity, it could be insurance, life insurance, whatever that is. Maybe it's a long-term care plan. Whatever it is, you need to review it. So these are just 10 basic things to think about and to act upon if your spouse dies. 1, obtain the death certificate. 2, secure the estate and property. Make sure your stuff is safe and secure. Number 3, contact an estate attorney. Number 4, notify employers and benefit providers. Maybe you can start beginning to receive those benefits now. Number 5, update your legal documents. Very important. Number 6, establish your own health insurance. Number 7, notify credit reporting agencies that your spouse has passed. That way nobody can use their information. Number 8, cancel or transfer memberships. Cancel or transfer them. Number 9, secure immediate financial resources. Extremely important. Number 10, review and adjust retirement plans. I hope this was helpful for those of you who are either confronting a spouse who's maybe having health issues right now, or a divorce, and you're needing to know what to do. These are some 10 basic things you want to do. There are other things obviously you can do, but these are some things you definitely want to implement pretty quickly. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoyed your coffee and your tea. Sonia Gallion-Comanica, and the author of 10 Things I Wish I Knew as a Single Parent, where we talk about all things single parents and your finances, and doing our best to give you as much information and resources as possible. Have an amazing day.